that's probably a good thing. All right. Welcome to the Nexus YouTube channel, everybody. I'm Mark.
And I'm Nick.
And we're the co-owners of the Nexus Arcade and Gaming Lounge. Before we start, a couple small things. Apologies if you hear screaming in the background. I got a 9-month-old on that side.
Oh,
sorry. Yeah. It's reversed on camera. Anyway, there's a 9-month-old on the floor behind us. He's wheeling around into things. So if you hear him yelling or over us, just pay no mind. And also don't pay mind to the space we're recording in right now. We're in my dining room. Because unfortunately that's the only place where I can have stuff set up for us to record at the moment until we move into a space. So, firstly, we took a poll on the Nexus forum, discussion forum on Facebook about what video you guys wanted to see first on this channel. And you voted for the starting small and what that kind of means for the business, for you as customers, for us as owners, and kind of what it entails, what the plans are. So we're going to talk about that. So firstly, we have two plans in place right now, depending on financing. So plan A, I'll let you take over for a bit because I'm doing all the talking.
I'm looking over here too because we have
we have notes on this screen over here because I have two screens. There's a screen there, camera there.
So if we do get the financing through one of the companies, we are gonna start off bigger. Do you know what the size was?
I think it was like 3,300 square feet in the space that we're currently looking at.
Okay, so that being said, we are gonna be doing the arcade, obviously, because we kind of need to. It's in our name.
Yeah.
No matter what. We're gonna start with a tabletop room, the lounge, and then Switch stations. It's like Nintendo Switch.
Yep. So instead of like all consoles at the moment, like we figured we'd start with like the more family-friendly stuff, and then eventually, like years down the road, when we can move into like a bigger space, maybe get our own building, we'll start getting like all different console types, PCs, all that kind of good stuff.
That being said, there's like a 1, 3, and 5 year plan closer to the end of it.
Yep, we'll talk about that towards the end.
And then so A is going to allow us to do a lot more. So we're really, really aiming for the financing. We just want to give you pretty much what we promised, and we will get there no matter what. It's just starting.
It's just a matter if we can get the financing, we can start or closer to what our goal is right away.
Right. Versus
if we don't get the financing from these two places we're still waiting to hear from.
Yes.
If we don't, that's where Plan B kind of kicks in.
Yeah. So
we'll wait for Ben for a second.
So Plan B. So that's if the financing does get declined. Thankfully for a lot of you guys, we had the Kickstarter money. It wouldn't be the 20% anymore. It would be the 100%.
Yeah. So we would start with $15,000.
Yes.
Which
we would have to start a lot smaller.
Yeah.
Which can be fine. It's not a bad option.
Yeah. We like we were saying, we would start with $15,000, which in the grand scheme of things is not a lot of money to start a business with. However, we do have a space that we are looking at that is hopefully still available. That's around, what was it, like, what do you think, like 1,700-ish, 1,500 square feet?
It was, let's say, in between 15 and 2.
So in between 15 and 2. So
definition.
It's about half the size of the big space that we're looking at if we get the financing. So it's about half the size of the big space, and we obviously wouldn't be able to fit as much, but we still obviously want to have the arcade machines. We still want to have some products, so we probably would hold off on getting like collectible products, so we wouldn't get like statues, Funkos, stuff like that, but we would still try to have as much TCG product and tabletop gaming product as possible that we can fit. So we still want to do like D&D, Warhammer, Pokemon TCG, Magic, Digimon, and still like accessories, so dice, card sleeves, binders, 9-pocket pages, top loaders, all that kind of stuff. We wouldn't be able to fit as much, but it's still something that we want to do regardless of whichever plan we go with. And again, sorry for the baby. He likes to talk while we're talking, so you might hear a lot of that. I'll try to cut as much of it as I can in post, but you're gonna hear some.
So that being said, yeah, it's really A versus B. Like, those are our main options, you know? Like, and we want to be as transparent with you as possible.
Yeah.
We don't want to, like, hide anything.
Yeah, that was one of the biggest reasons that I wanted to do this, so we can do stuff like this and kind of let you guys know what's going on. Because I know that we've been very quiet. We don't post to the Kickstarter a lot. We've been a little quiet on Facebook. But between, like, just the waiting for these financial institutions to get back to us, plus the fact that we still work basically full-time jobs, we have families and everything, so it's like we're trying to split up our time amongst so much stuff, where after the Nexus is started, it's going to be just as much work, but we'll have basically just two focuses. We're going to have the Nexus and home versus like all the different things we have going on right now. So in theory. So once the Nexus starts, we'll probably do more regular updates. We're going to try to get probably like weekly or bi-weekly videos up to the YouTube channel, depending what kind of content we even want to post on here. So I don't know if it's just going to be update videos like this, whether we just want to have like our hobby stuff on there, share like concerts, games, stuff like that.
I mean, I even think getting like customers eventually.
Yeah,
like customers, friends,
do a Nexus podcast, right? Like,
that would be fun.
Like right from our counter.
I actually kind of want to do podcasts, so that's something
really cool.
We will talk about.
Yeah,
after
but that's kind of in the future.
Yeah.
So regardless of what plan goes into action, there's a couple things that we need to get done before we can think about expanding. Firstly, we do need to pay off a family member of mine who did make a generous donation to the Kickstarter, but made it very clear that it was a loan, not an actual like donation, which is totally understandable given the circumstances, which I won't get into. So we have to pay that off, which is where a lot of our stuff is going to go.
We're trying to do that as quickly as possible.
Yeah, we're going to get that done as quick as possible. One thing I don't know if I wrote it in the notes here, but hiring wise, I know a lot of you have been interested. Like there's a lot of people asking. Yeah. We have one person that we've already been talking to. Yeah. That we want to give the opportunity to be our, I guess, general manager. Yeah, we'll talk about more about like what their job will entail, but like it's good because we're like the owners. There's obviously going to be days that like we have to deal with bigger stuff than the regular day today. So we have one person that we're going to train for a full-time position, and just to see how much that's going to affect our overhead, we're going to hold off on any more hiring until we have a good idea of our overhead costs for the first few months. If it gets like wicked super busy around like the holiday season, we might do like a temporary part-time position maybe, but again, it's all dependent how much we have, how much our overhead, how much net income we're getting.
There's a lot of ifs.
There's a lot of ifs when it comes to that, so please be patient. Like once we're like fully rolling as a business, we have an understanding of like our slow seasons, our fast seasons, what products are selling and aren't selling, and have like a better grip on that. Then we'll be able to start getting more of like a full team together. After that,
for sure. One thing also, so we have to. I'm just gonna bring this up because we're talking about the opening. We have to wait on a lot of vendors until we get a spot because they want a literal picture of our,
specifically product vendors. So like our trading card stuff, our collectibles, our accessories, like the food and drink vendors that we've all talking to are like, just let us know when you're ready and we'll get an order ready for you.
And that being said, Liquid Death is 100%.
Yes.
Or one of our first.
Yeah,
we're gonna have a day one.
We will have Liquid Death ready day one. We just have to. They're just waiting for us to give like an opening day, and then we'll get an order started, and like it'll be ready.
And then also with Sobi, that's another one we were talking about.
Depends on the space, I think. If we have the bigger space, I would like to have both Liquid Death and Sobi stuff. But if we have just the smaller space, I think we just start with Liquid Death,
which is a good good
Yeah.
option. So
even if we do on Plan A, we're gonna hold off a little bit on PC and console gaming, except for Switches,
because of space,
because of space issues, and the fact that we do want to have a lot of arcade machines. He's very playful right now, but just to be transparent. The arcade machines are more going to be on our profitability side than the PCs and consoles would be based on our projections. So we need to make more money in the short run to give you what you want in the long run. I know that sounds super like businessy, greedy stuff, but like we're in business to make money, and we want to give you what you want, but we have to have the money to do it first.
And yeah, that's really it.
So we'll keep rolling here.
Okay.
All right.
Something we're also talking about is starting off with a website. So that will have exclusive like shirts. It will have our logo shirts too. And so yeah, so people can support us online. There might be online exclusive stuff too.
Yep, it's pretty much just going to be Nexus merch that we're going to have on the website at first. We did plan on having our own website built. We have a friend of mine that was looking into building a website for us, but it's going to be less stress on him and a little cheaper for us if we do something through the POS service that we're looking through. Do we want to name a name, or do you want to hold off? Okay, so we're going to hold off on it. Sorry, but they offer a website service.
It's a big one.
That links with your in-store systems and everything. So I think it'll be a little bit cheaper for us to run that. Eventually, if we are starting to see like a lot of online sales, we might add collectibles and stuff to that once we start having that product.
Yes.
All right. While we're waiting for Nick to get his thoughts back, we'll start talking about our 1, 3, and 5 year plans, I guess, and we'll come back to your thought once you have it again, I guess.
Yeah, that's a big cutout, by the way.
So our first year, big cutout. Our first year is super basic. We want to save as much of our extra net income as we possibly can. We need to figure out our sales patterns. We need to figure out foot traffic patterns, like what seasons are busier than the others, what days of the week are busier than others. That way we can adjust our store hours. We can adjust possible like sale prices on the. Oh my gosh, sorry, I'm burping here. Sorry, adjust prices of items. Figure out what is the word I'm looking for. Oh my gosh,
This is one of those days.
it is one of those days, man. When you pay your employees, it's called not salaries.
Like payroll?
Payroll. That's the word I'm looking for.
I was like,
Figure
I
out
don't know if
freaking
this is where he's
payroll.
going. Or
Wow, Mark, your brain today. Okay, but yeah, we want to figure out payroll stuff, make sure that we can give our first employee and then thereafter a fair wage. Like, we don't want to just do minimum wage if we can afford not to.
yes.
Because we know personally how shitty it is to work on minimum wage.
That being said, too, I kind of want to talk about the background. Like, can we talk about our employee situation? Like, how we are going to treat the employee situation?
Yes.
So,
I think that would be a good thing.
So, Mark and I both know what it's like to work, obviously, in retail.
Yep.
And for companies.
Yeah. In multiple positions, where like just grunt, like supervisor positions. I was a store manager for a while, so like we've been in like every storefront position you can imagine.
Yes, and that being said,
sorry.
That being said, it's we really want to focus on our employees. We want to listen to what they have to say.
Mm-hmm.
So if we work on if we open multiple locations eventually, that's going to be a huge focus of ours. It's not going to be. It's really passionate. Like, one of my passions is focusing on what we have,
Yeah.
and really, working on that and making sure that people are happy, not miserable coming to work every day.
Exactly.
That's a big.
Yeah, that'll be a huge focus for us, especially when it comes to like bad customer relations. Like, we all know that there's really bad customers out there.
There's a lot of good ones, but there can be some bad
I was going to say there's a lot more good ones, but everybody knows, I think, at least one bad customer. No naming names. But we want to make sure that
it's safe environment.
It's going to be a safe environment.
Fun environment.
Yeah, it's going to be like if a customer has a complaint, it comes immediately to us.
We don't want people to feel like they, we want people to be able to tell us like if they're having an issue, but we don't want people to feel like we don't want people to like attack our employees.
By complaint, I should clarify, like, I think that our employees should be able to take complaints, but if it's like yelling at one of our employees or like starting to argue with one of our employees over something that is completely out of their control, it goes straight to us. Like we step in.
And that's going to be management at all levels. Like if we have a different stores, like that's going to be one of our main focuses is making sure our people like what they do. Yeah. And that's a little off topic kind of from like what we originally, starting, but that's just like, that's a thing that we're really passionate about, really want to focus on.
So where are we? I mentioned the future plans. Okay, so we.
I guess that's a future plan.
Yeah. So 1 year plan, figuring out sales and foot traffic, saving as much income as we can. By year 3, we want to be able to move into like a big location, like a warehouse, like is what I'm thinking.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Like 10,000 square foot. Like you figure the inside size of Bull Moose.
Staples.
Yes, so we're gonna buy the Staples.
$1,300,000 whatever.
It's. I mean, it's big. It's big and it's expensive, but we digress.
That being said, we
want a bigger space like that. Not
if we make money.
If we make money. That way we can expand how many machines we have. We can start to include PC and console gaming. We can make extra room for tabletop and TCG. We can even split those into 2 separate sections. And then maybe add some like private event rooms as well. So really, year 3, we want to be able to fit into a bigger space, which in turn will mean that we'll need more people to help run, and we can start hiring more people for a bigger spot, and maybe change our hours and do more events. And then lastly, for a 5-year plan, we have a goal of building our very own building. Like we want it designed specifically to be what we want the Nexus Arcade and Gaming Lounge to look like.
Yes.
So we would have room for everything. We would have all the products. We would have huge arcade. We would have a tabletop room, a TCG room. We would have places where people can hold parties and events. But yeah, we want our very own building. And then once we're in our own building, then after the 5-year mark, when we have our building and we're running and everything, we're just making constant net income, that's when we can start thinking about expansion.
Yes.
So expanding to new locations in different towns and stuff like that. We don't know what that looks like yet, whether we want to build more stuff in other towns or if we want to rent spaces to see what the feeling's like in those towns. But this is like a decade down the road. So it's like we have a lot of time to think about it and figure it out.
I mean, who knows? It could be sooner than that. We don't really know.
Yeah,
it depends on how.
We could win the lottery. You never know.
we really want feedback as well. We don't want to just be like, this is what's happening. We want to hear what you guys have
that's
to
one
say.
thing I want, like, in the entrance, I want a suggestion box.
That'd be great.
Or, like, we can, when we set up our POS account with, like, our like, in-store emails, I feel like we should be able to give those out and be like, hey, if you have any suggestions, just email us at the store.
And the whole thing is, like, we're trying to solve, like, a problem with the area, kind of. Like, we want to give you what you want. You know, what problem are we solving in the Waterville area?
Yeah.
You know, and if we can solve one of your problems, then let us know.
Yeah.
If it's card game, playing in store, if it's more tournaments, if it's stuff like that, that's what we want to know.
Yep. And we realize we can't make everybody happy, but we want to work as hard as we can to make as many people happy as possible.
Correct.
So we'll try our best to do that. But like I think we got off the main point of this video, which was starting
Yeah.
small.
So
Kind of to reiterate, recap, whatever you want to say. Recap. 2 plans. Plan A, we get financing. We start with hopefully the bigger 3,300 square foot space. We start with arcade products, pretty much everything that we wanted except for PC and console gaming. And then we kind of build into a bigger location a couple years down the road. Plan B, we don't get the financing. We start super small, 1,500 square foot. We only do tabletop TCG products. We have a handful of arcade machines and a room split up for TCG and tabletop tables where you guys have to play together, unfortunately. And again, we work on building to a bigger location as soon as possible. That way we can kind of move forward, get more product rolling in, get more income, hire more people. So it really is just a matter of hearing back from these 2 financial places that haven't gotten back to us yet. And once we hear from either of them, we'll give you guys an update.
Yes.
So those are the... And just in time to end, because Ben's getting upset. You get to see the baby.
Wow.
Wow.
You happy now? Hi.
In Dad's lap, super quiet now. So that was the big plans. Literally, as soon as we hear back from either of these institutions, we'll update you guys. I don't know if we'll do a video update or if we'll just do like just a quick post on the discussion forum. But we will.
Which you should join as well.
Yes, join the discussion forum on Facebook. I will put a link in the description here. And this is totally irrelevant to the people watching this video, but I'll put a link to the YouTube channel on the discussion forum so people from there can find this stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll get going on recording the next couple videos here in the next coming weeks. I still want to cover those other 2 topics that we had mentioned, so I want to do like our journey from the beginning up to now, just so you guys can kind of get a feel for what it's like to try to open a business. And then on a more fun note, I want to get together with Nick and discuss like our hobbies and stuff like that, and kind of what motivated us to even start this kind of business in the first place. And we'll obviously put up videos regarding our hobbies and stuff on this channel as well. So like from me, you're gonna see a lot of gaming videos.
Yeah.
And then like we'll get together and have discussions about like music and concerts and events like Comic-Con and stuff like that, and we'll kind of we'll make it a good time. And
sure.
We'll have fun, and once we open, we'll get some customers in on the podcasting, and we'll get something done like that.
Yeah.
So Ben says hi. Hello. And and I guess we'll talk to you guys later. Thank you for watching, and feel free to share this video with all of your friends, share the channels, share the business, share the discussion forum on Facebook. We want as many people in that as possible because we want all kinds of good feedback from you guys.
Yes.
And we will talk to you all soon. So, see you guys later. Bye.